Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Soup Breakdown. Today we'll be looking at the MSN-00100 Hyaku Shiki, piloted by Quattro Regina. Definitely not Char Aznable, Quattro Regina himself. The Hyaku Shiki is a very interesting suit. It's the first suit that Quattro has piloted that's not red, other than the Zeong. But the Zeong wasn't finished, that's why it wasn't red. They didn't have time to paint it. It's also a really fun and mobile suit to use. It has a really cool Garobi in the high mega particle cannon that can be controlled. It has some interesting melee combos. The charge is pretty cool in that it fires kind of like a spray particle. And then your left shoulder is... Oh, I missed the stab. Left shoulder is almost like an offhand shot of the scatter gun. The right trigger is the... come on. It's the Spectre that allows you to move around the map a little bit more. You can stay on it if you control it. You can also send it forward as a melee attack to explode, which is pretty good. But it's kind of hard to hit with it. And then the Striker fires off its... I think they're called Spectres. It's not a Balut, that's the balloon. It's something else. Is it just the base? Is that what it's called? Either way, the Hyaku Shiki is a lot of fun to play in this game. Please let me know in the comment section below what that's called, because I'm going to remember it later and get super mad at myself since I forgot. Alright, let's just get him. I think he's behind the colony chunk there. Yep, good job. Shirako! The Hyaku Shiki is a really weird mix of... I guess it's a good mid-range suit, technically. Because it's got a lot to do with the... a lot to do with melee and a lot to do with range. Which is really interesting to me because, you know... A lot of suits seem to want to focus on one or the other. But the Hyaku Shiki is very... I don't know what the right phrase would be. I guess it's a mixed bag when it comes to all of it, because it doesn't do as much damage as some of the others, it feels like. But the Garobi does more damage than a couple other Garobis that you may see. And it can hit in green lock range, because it just goes across the entire map. You can also cancel out of it, which is nice. And very useful. The Hyaku Shiki is... it's a really fun melee suit. I don't play with it a lot because I feel like there are other suits that do what the Hyaku Shiki does better, but you can't really beat that Garobi. It's a really good Garobi with very little startup time. You can flip into that, fire that thing off, and we'll miss, but that's fine. He's moving around. I just want to... There we go. He has a stun, which is really nice. All in all, the Hyaku Shiki is just a really good jack-of-all-trades kind of suit. That's what I meant earlier, not mixed bag, jack-of-all-trades. He's got the fire behind me that he learned from Amuro. And then that scatter shot is just so good. It's using the shotgun, basically. And then his burst is yet another Garobi that uses the Gundam Mark II as a battery. Or the Methis as a battery. I've seen it use the Methis as well. But yeah, the Hyaku Shiki is just a really fun suit to use. There are some good combos with it. There's not really much more to say. The question of should you use the Hyaku Shiki, do you like the Mark II? I know we haven't had the episode on the Mark II yet. Do you like the Mark II? Because if you like the Mark II, the Hyaku Shiki is very similar to the Mark II in that it's a jack-of-all-trades, but it has the added strength of that really powerful Garobi. And I think that Garobi is enough to tip it over the edge of the Mark II for me. I'd use the Hyaku Shiki over the Mark II because of that. The melee combos are good. They do decent damage. You get a Char kick still. So, I mean, what else could you ask for? You have that stun. Have a pretty good striker, although I don't normally recommend using the Hyaku Shiki striker with the Hyaku Shiki. It's fine, but I'd recommend going with maybe the Zeta Gundam striker. Just if you want to keep up with the theme of Zeta. There you go. That's the first life down. It's just a really good suit. And then you hit with the Garobi, and you take half a health bar right there. And honestly, you should cancel out of the Garobi right after you get them into knockdown state with it, because there's no reason to keep going with it. There's also some slight tracking on that, though not as much as you might like. You can also fake people out by going to fire the Garobi before it's ready, which is really nice. But I love the Hyaku Shiki. It's a really fun suit to use, and I don't see it used enough, honestly, for how good it is. But like I said, damage-wise, it's not going to do as much damage as like a Virtue with its Garobis, but it's a lot faster than the Virtue without having to switch to non-lay mode, so why not use the Hyaku Shiki? But with that said, should you use the Hyaku Shiki? I think so. Try it out. It's a good jack of all trades. We'll be back next time. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that the Hyaku Shiki has to offer.